Rullar.
Okay.
Hello, Martin.
Hello, Eric.
Where are we today?
Today we are at the Hässleholms Museum in southern Sweden, in Hässleholm.
Correct. And
Yes.
today we will be talking about this, the Stridsvagn M38 or the Landsverk L60. We are here together with Minipansar and we are showing our models. We also have some visitors from Denmark and Germany with us today. They have incredible Armortech models and we have been driving around outside the facility as long as the weather was good.
It's raining now, and I think it will be raining the rest of the day. But anyway, it's afternoon now, so it's okay. We've been driving for hours.
Yeah.
Everything held together good on our tanks, on every tank, I guess.
Yeah. It's an incredible environment to drive the models. I mean, there are lots of tanks and vehicles, and it's really great to see the models next to the real things.
Yes, it is. It's a lot of great vehicles here, not only tanks, it's wheeled vehicles, and it's old fire engines and stuff like that. Eric, why are we sitting next to the M40, M38? What is it? M48?
No, this is the Landsverk L60, or as it's called in this configuration, the Stridsvagn M38. This is the first version of three, M38, 39 and 40. There's a 40K standing just in another hall next to us. There's an M39 too out in the courtyard as well.
But there's another M39 somewhere in the museum. I think I saw that.
Here it is. Here it is. Yeah, so this is a 1:6 scale version of the M39, so the in-between model of the L60. And as previous tanks that I made, it's a hull made of plywood and 3D printed parts with drive sprockets and drive wheels and the tracks that are 3D printed. Yeah.
And the commander on top.
Yeah, the commander.
Have you done that yourself?
Yes, it's a 3D printed face, a 3D printed head, and with handmade hands and arms and torso.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's just to give us sort of sense of scale, because it's a very small tank, so it's hard to understand.
He looks like a giant.
Yeah, he does. I know. Yeah, he does.
And the hat, is that a tank uniform
It's
hat?
supposed to be an old version of the tank hat, yes.
Barrett.
The Barrett, yeah, the tank Barrett, exactly.
Oh, okay.
But it's a bit large for him, but they were very large and they had this soft cushion around, so you want to bang your head.
You bang your head inside. They're quite hard inside.
Exactly. It has sound and recoil, so the gun works and you can traverse the turret and elevate the gun barrel. I usually bring it here to Hässleholms Military Museum because it's fun to see it next to the
real ones.
Yeah, the real ones. Yeah.
Cool. Yep. You have like a Meet My Tank film about that one on your channel?
Yes, I do. So if you want to see more about how this is made, there's a build video and a Meet My Tank video over at my YouTube channel.
So this is an M39.
Yeah, correct.
This is an M40, no, M38.
Yes.
And there's an M40 in the other hall here. What's the biggest difference? What's the difference between the tanks?
So the L60, it's basically the same tank. The biggest difference is the gun mantlet. The M38 has a flat gun mantlet, but it's still the same gun as the M39 and the M40. But they have a rounded, more developed gun mantlet. Otherwise, it's the same engine, the same gearbox, and
same tracks,
yeah, the same
wheels.
The M40 has a little bit more armor welded to the front as well, and it might be just a few centimeters longer, also. I think.
Do you know what they weigh?
Around 8 tons, so it's not very heavy at all.
Okay. So were they ever used in battle, or?
Yes, sort of. They did see some action on the Eastern Front during the Second World War, but in the shape of the Hungarian Toldi. So Hungary licensed, manufactured the L60 from Sweden, and they named it Toldi. The Toldi saw action on the Eastern Front during the Second World War. So this tank...
On the German side?
On the German side, yes, correct. So yeah, anything more about this tank that is...
we want to add?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, this one has a welded hull. quite modern for 1940 something. So the hull is completely welded, not riveted or bolted together. So that's pretty unusual or pretty early, I guess, for a 1940s, early 1940s tank. Something else you want to add?
Yeah, it's also a torsion bar suspension system in this tank, which also was quite modern for its time.
Great. So it's a smooth ride.
It is.
Well, and speaking of smooth ride, you want to go for a ride?
Absolutely.
Let's go for a ride.
Sure.
I think it's that way.
Perfect.
Good.
So this is the 40K, the last of the 3 version of the Landsverk L60. After the ride in the vintage M40, Martin and I decided to make the most of our visit and record some info about a very special vehicle. Alright, so this is a good spot, but where are we now? What is this?
Yeah, what is this? This is a KP car, or a KP-bil in Swedish,
Yeah.
M42, and this is an armored taxi.
Yeah, armored taxi.
Yeah, armored taxi, armored personnel carrier.
Yeah, to protect the infantry from
Exactly, yeah.
splinter.
So it has an open back. Now it's a canvas cover over, but it's an open back, and you have space for a lot of people. I am not sure how many, but if the bullets fly, I'm sure you can fit a lot of people in there.
Yeah, exactly. And the KP car stands for Karosserie Pansar, which is armored chassis,
Armored
basically.
chassis, armored body lorry.
And you can really tell why, because it's very, very boxy, and they have just slapped armored plates on top of a truck chassis.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us about this car?
This car is, as the name say, M42. It's built in 42, came out in 1943. They built them until 1946, I think. A couple of hundred of Scania and Volvo. They are slightly different, not much. They had them in Congo in the 60s. And they were painted white with UN on them, and they called them the white elephants.
And you can almost tell why, because they certainly look like a large animal. So this is a 1940s design.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, how long did the Swedish Armed Forces use them?
You would think the Congo in the 60s they were outdated.
Right.
And they probably were, but we used them until the year 2000 on the island Gotland in Sweden. They were the last regiment.
Exactly. The regiment in Gotland also used the last of the Centurions up to the year 2000, I think. So they were around for quite some time.
Yeah, they were, and they were, I don't know if they were good, but they were certainly ugly, and they scared the enemy away.
But there's a certain reason why we stand here and talking about this, isn't it?
It's not only because it's very beautiful, it's because this is a future project. This is my wife's favorite armored vehicle. So we are going to build, me and my wife, a KP-bil M42 in 1:10 scale.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Our interest for RC started with the rock rollers. So we have been driven and building rock rollers for many, many years. So I will build the chassis and drivetrain, and she will take over and building the body and details and everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, perfect project, husband and wife project.
There you have it, guys. Building a KP car is a perfect project for husband and wife.
Perfect.
Eric and I would really like to give a big thank you to Hässleholms Museum for letting us be there. This was not our first visit, and it certainly was not our last visit. We are always very welcome to be there, and it's always great to be there with our tanks and checking out their museum. If you suddenly find yourself in the southern part of Sweden, you have to go visit Hässleholms Museum in Hässleholm. It's really worth a visit. There will also be a complete film from the meeting with our tanks coming soon. So thank you for watching this second Vodcast, and welcome back next time. Bye! Whee!
And the suspension is torsion bar.
Är det på den här?
Ja.
Ska vi se här. Ja, sköldpaddor alltså.
Vad sa jag nu för den ena?
It's a chase. So much.